Hey, everybody, and happy day number 4. This is our fourth and final day together. This is all Q&A. And I will tell you before we start, we have about 65 pre-submitted questions. So I've never had that many questions before, in all honesty. So I'm going to do my best to get through all of them. So I don't believe there's going to be any time to open the room up at the end. So for those that did pre-submit your questions, thank you. Obviously that helps us put all this stuff together. So again, as you're coming on, as always, please say hi and where you're coming in from. Obviously really grateful and excited to have everybody back for a final day. So before we dive in, drop into the chat, obviously, with everything that we've gone over this week, the connecting, the messaging, the content, the nurturing. What has been the biggest needle mover for you? So just drop it in the chat, what has helped you the most in this process. And what I'll tell you is that what we've gone over today is just scratching the surface. That's the great thing about LinkedIn. It's ever evolving. It's one of those platforms that is consistently up leveling, but there's always new things to learn and obviously to take away from. Followable process, content creation, accountability. Awesome. All of those things, learning the resources. Yeah, all those things are vital in what needs to be done. Now, just as a reminder, for those that are still interested, the doors to my LinkedIn Growth Hub membership are only open until Sunday. And the reason why I really feel, for those that really took a lot away from this week's training, and you're looking for some continuing education. So just drop the word "me" in the chat if you feel you could benefit from continuing to work closely with me in the capacity of what I teach with LinkedIn through strategy, through generating leads, all of those things. Now, the wonderful thing about the LinkedIn Growth Hub is it's a place for collaboration. It's a place for connection. So there's a lot of business that's actually getting passed back and forth with the people that are in the membership. And if you're one of those people that has really found specific challenges, obstacles, not only in growing your LinkedIn connections, but growing your leads and growing your income, obviously, that is what the LinkedIn Growth Hub is all about. Now, the other thing that you need to realize is that, you need to envision the benefits of being a part of that community that I created that's focused on just LinkedIn growth. So there's a lot of things out there that people can do, but just imagine being part of a community that is solely focused just on LinkedIn and LinkedIn only. But the other thing that you need to ask yourselves is there a part of you that's super interested in having some personalized guidance and support to accelerate that LinkedIn growth? And that's exactly what the LinkedIn Growth Hub is. You get personalized assistance from me. And again, it is a collaboration. So if there are things that people in the community want to have taught, guess what? They just send an email to support and they say, hey, could you do a masterclass training on this topic around LinkedIn? So a lot of the content that is created in the membership is member focused. So I don't just teach on something just because I feel like teaching it. I really focus on the members of the community. But the other thing is, you have to ask yourselves, are you committed to investing the necessary time, effort into really optimizing your LinkedIn strategy, content, and engagement moving forward? Because again, this is exactly what the LinkedIn Growth Hub is all about. Like I mentioned, enhanced professional networking, access to my LinkedIn resources. the personalized guidance and support, proven strategies and best practices, continuous learning and skill development. So it's ever evolving. That's the beautiful thing about the membership. There's a brand new masterclass every single month on the first Monday, but also there's collaboration opportunities, and it is absolutely results-oriented approach. So if all of that I just kind of spouted out to all of you, if you feel that could benefit you and your business and where you want to take things, drop a Y or a yes in the chat. Now, again, this is something that is really going to move the needle of your business forward. It's one of those things where, again, I'm dropping the link right into the chat, because again, the doors are only open until Sunday. And again, I haven't opened the doors to this thing for about 2 years. So it's got a treasure trove of information in there. And if you don't want to be left behind as far as technology, information about LinkedIn, and you really want to make sure that you're on the cutting edge, but you're also on the forefront of learning exactly how to leverage LinkedIn, that's exactly what the LinkedIn Growth Hub is all about. Because you have to envision after, obviously today is done, and after the replays come down on Sunday, what's it actually going to cost you not to continue learning, right? You never want to get yourself to the point where you just stop. You always want to be progressing. But for the value of what people get with this monthly membership, where you get the monthly masterclass and everything that it comes with it, it is that thing that could get you to the next step, the next level, get you past that hump that you're dealing with in your business. And that's exactly what it's all about. So again, as I mentioned, the doors are open until Sunday at 9 p.m. EDT, the same when the replays are coming down. So you just have to ask yourselves, what's my next step? Do I want to continue learning from Scott and get his first class information where no one else is getting it? And if that's yes, then obviously, you're a perfect fit and it's the right time to join the LinkedIn Growth Hub. Now, let's dive into the questions. Like I mentioned, there were about 65 pre-submitted questions. So I'm going to do my very, very best to getting through to all of them. And let me go to the first one. This is from Cassie. Is there a way to link your posts on LinkedIn to also post on your Facebook and Instagram? There is no way to do that. The only thing that you can do as far as being able to post across multiple platforms is actually having a content scheduler. My wife and I have one. We created one called BYOB Social. So with BYOB Social, you can post to Facebook, you can post to Instagram, and you can post to LinkedIn with the click of a button. So you cannot do that from just LinkedIn. You would need a content scheduler. And also the second question was, I have different contacts on my different social media platforms and would love for everyone to see my posts. I use Instagram for family and friends and personal, and then Facebook more for business, social, client. And then LinkedIn is for business specific. I know I can link Instagram and Facebook. Wasn't sure if there's a way when you post in LinkedIn to hit the two other platforms. Yeah, the only way to do that, if anyone is interested, the only way to do that is literally copying the link to the post that you made on LinkedIn, and then obviously posting it on Facebook and posting it on Instagram. That's really the only way that that can be done. So those were Cassie's questions. Raven asks, my business has two different facets. One, selling skincare products. Two, the opportunity to build a team and mentoring, leading a team I've already established. When creating content, which area should I focus on most? Or is there a smart way to incorporate it all? So the best thing to do when you're doing something like that is talking about the value add of what you offer the marketplace. So again, the team building aspect, the business opportunity aspect, that's all fine, well, and good, but you always want to position yourself as the expert in the space that you're in. So really making sure that you are educating and informing people about products, goods, services that you offer without mentioning product names or companies. Basically, positioning you as the skincare specialist or the skincare, professional out there, or the go-to person. That is the way that you want to do, because it's kind of hard to, the whole team building aspect. And I'm assuming she's in network marketing. That's really hard to post about on LinkedIn. It's not actually, people really don't appreciate it, but they do appreciate when people actually put out educational and informative information. And let's see. Kurt says, I'll be moving to Florida later this year. Most of my LinkedIn is in Wisconsin. When would you start building connections for Florida? Would I have a built-in excuse to connect with people since I'm moving down there? I'll be training in August, and then September will be fully operational. I wanted to take advantage of the time now to possibly start to build up connections for my new area. My current LinkedIn profile shows me working at a firm I'm with in Wisconsin, so I didn't want to be misleading in any way. And my profile itself can be used as a landing page, which would not be appropriate at the moment. What are your thoughts? So my thoughts are this: the great thing about LinkedIn is that you can plant seeds wherever you are. So even if you're currently living in Wisconsin or whatever state you are in, and you are obviously going to be moving somewhere else like Florida, as Kurt said, you can start planting seeds wherever you want. The great thing is with any business, whether you work locally, globally, nationally, I would definitely get ahead of the curve with this, and I would start planting some seeds in Florida if that's where you're going to be going. That does not mean you need to be messaging people. That means you can just be planting those seeds, building that network of expected connections and conversations for when you do move down there. So I would definitely get a move on that. Next question. Holly asks, I didn't remember from previous training that you should not send more than 5 invites per day. I've sent more, up to 10 per day, and nothing happened as far. I know related to getting me in trouble with LinkedIn. Why is the number so low? So that actually, that is reversed. You want to be sending 14 to 18 connections a day and 5 messages a day. So for Holly, if she's watching on the replay, just know that the 5 that you need to be sending per day are your messages. Connections are 14 to 18 that you need to be sending. Next question. John has 2 questions. Some of my connection requests came back quickly, accepted with multiple messages and links to websites and Calendly to book appointments. Is that an ideal connection for us or a miss? That is someone that is using an automated process that they should not be on LinkedIn. So when we all open accounts on LinkedIn, we actually click a button, a little checkbox area, that we are basically accepting the terms and conditions and the user agreement on LinkedIn, which states that we won't use any automated processes that connect and message for us. Obviously, if you're accepting someone's connection and immediately you get some sort of sales pitch, 18 paragraph long drunkalog verbal vomit message with links and a book and all that stuff, that is someone that you want to remove as a connection immediately. The second question was, while going through connections suggested from LinkedIn to send more connection requests, I see a lot of people are from my prior employers. Should we connect with them based on our shared past, or focus on only connecting with people who match ideal clients and power partners? So typically you only want to connect with people that match ideal clients or power partners, but it's never a bad idea to connect with ex-colleagues, because what you have to understand is that LinkedIn is a giant search engine, which means every new connection you make, you're able to then access every one of those connections, which are the second connections. So your search criteria, your search results are based on the connections that you have. So if you did want to connect with someone from a prior job or experience that you had, that's a trusted source, you guys had a good connection, all of those things, it is appropriate time to time to send connection requests to those individuals, because also those people could write you a recommendation if you ask them, because they can speak to your credibility, your expertise, and obviously who you are as a business professional. Carol asked, if you're looking for clients specifically, how do other marketers fit those criteria in the example you gave Monday regarding reach out messages? I can see it if the intention is to collaborate. Yeah. So depending upon the person's business, again, for me, and things that Nancy and I do, we actually work, even though we are coaches and consultants, we actually help other coaches and consultants. So with the offerings that we have, a lot of the people that we connect with on LinkedIn can kind of fold into both of those categories. They could represent ideal clients and or power partners. Now, for me, so that was the example that I gave. A power partner for me that really doesn't fold into ideal clients right away is someone like a podcaster. So I have a podcast, someone else has a podcast. That would be something that I would completely reach out to for the notion of let's get on each other's podcasts and support each other's networks. So again, I'm always looking to connect with people that I feel could be absolutely an ideal client or could potentially be a collaborator, someone that I can network with. But later on down the line, and I'll give you a prime example. There was a gentleman that I connected with the other day. We hopped on a Zoom. We're connected on LinkedIn. He's got a podcast. I have a podcast, and he was asking everything that we do. And I told him about our programs and our offerings. So by the end of the conversation, he said, yeah, I would love to be a guest on your podcast. We would love to have you on ours. Here's our link. But also he goes, I'm really interested to learn more about your business because you mentioned some things that we are looking to step into in the next few months that I feel your programs could help with. So I do want to continue the conversation. So I wasn't going into that with the intention of even picking that person up as a client, but the seed was planted by us just kind of sharing what we did. So again, you really need to take each conversation like it's just going to be a power partner. You never want to go with the intention of selling and pitching, and just let that conversation and that connection take shape on its own, if that makes sense, Carol. Okay, cool. Okay, John had some questions. When I go to a profile to get a person's contact info, does that count as a search? So what kind of contact information, I'm not sure if John is on here. What kind of contact information are you getting? If John is on here, because that really makes a difference, because we're really not supposed to be grabbing people's email addresses and then importing them into any sort of email server that we use. The only time going to someone's profile counts as a search is if you're not connected to them. So second connections, if you're going through and you're kind of clicking, like you do a search and you're like, maybe I'm interested in connecting with the person, so I'm going to click on their profile, that actually counts as a search. So that, and you do get dinged if you view too many profiles in a short amount of time. So some people may experience that if you're just like viewing profile after profile after profile of people that you're not connected to, LinkedIn can ding you for that. So you really want to be mindful about how many profiles you are viewing. If people connect with you and you then message them, how many messages count against you, or are they not counted? So even if someone is doing the connecting with you, or you're doing the connecting, so basically the example is if people are sending you connection requests and they fit into one of those two buckets, so they fit into that ideal client bucket, they fit into that power partner bucket, and you're accepting their connection because they're an ideal connection, and you still do the first outbound message, yes, that counts. So if you're the one that's messaging first, that counts towards the 5 that you're supposed to send per day. Do you really ask to speak with people right after connecting with them? Might that turn them off as being too salesy? The only time it's ever going to sound too salesy is if you're salesy in your message. That's the only time. So if you're reaching out to people for the first time, just looking to connect, to potentially collaborate, to learn about each other, there's nothing salesy about that, unless you do something called the bait and switch, which I think we've all experienced, where someone has messaged us, it seems like it's appropriate, right? And then we get on the phone with them, and then we're just getting pitched hard on what they're doing. That is called the bait and switch. That's the only time something comes off salesy is if you are salesy. Remember, the intention of what you're doing on LinkedIn is to build connections, build relationships, build trust and rapport. And then fourth, once you do a search, can you go back to that search without that counting against you as another search? Yes, the only way to do that is to leave that window open and open a new window on your browser. So if there's a search that you've done and it proves very fruitful, that it gives you a lot of great responses, then basically just leave that window open up another browser window, and then continue your LinkedIn activity. And then you can go back to that without having to search all over again. Next question. Let's see. Jonathan. Okay. Jonathan asks, as a financial service, can you give examples of power partners? Most of my recommended connections are workers looking for a better job. Will it change as my new connections change towards power partners during Monday and Friday searches? Yes. So as you start getting connection requests accepted, whether it's people you're searching for or using the My Network area, LinkedIn bases everything off of that. So you will start to see your suggested connections change based off of the connections that are accepting. So let me give you an example. So if you were in the fitness industry and you were looking to connect with people in the fitness industry, and say that you search for people that owned F45 studios or Orange Theory studios, and all those people started accepting your connection requests after searching for them, you're going to start to see LinkedIn populate in the My Network area other people that also work at Orange Theory and also work at F45. So as far as the financial service question, you have to think about some branches of some of the things that you may offer and who would be a good connection of yours that could introduce you or introduce their connections to you. So what types of people? Family law attorneys. Yeah, it could be accountants as well. So, anything that's revolving around money. So if an accountant says, listen, you need to get your budgeting in order, you need a financial planner, a financial advisor. So for a lot of financial professionals, accountants, CPAs, bookkeepers could be great power partners for you. As a financial service with network marketing component, where part of the business is recruiting new business partners, what type of post can I do, if at all, to attract people who want to make more income? Or do I never say anything related to business side? Yes, you never want to that is what, for those that are, in network marketing, that just screams scam, spam. If you're building any sort of business, you always have to be a person of value. So you always want to lead with value, even if there's a team building aspect to it. Again, you want to provide educational and informational type of content that's going to draw people closer to you. So talking about some of the products and services that you provide as a financial professional, but you can also just give some general business advice, which again is going to draw people closer to you. If you end up starting to post things out there about building a team and opportunities to make money, you're going to get people that are looking for a job. And that is not something that you offer. So you have to be very, very mindful of how you're wording things and how you're putting things out there. How do you know if you're connecting with the right people? It still feels spray and pray sometimes. So you're connecting with the right people if you are being very highly targeted with the types of people that you're connecting with. So if you're sending connection requests through your searching on Mondays and Fridays and the My Network area, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and you are only sending connection requests to people that fit the ideal client avatar and the power partner avatar, you're not spraying and praying. Spraying and praying is covering your eyes and just clicking connect and not even looking at the person's headline, not even searching for a specific industry or professional title. That is spraying and praying. What we went over this week is a highly targeted way to specifically build your network. When messaging, if it's not a power partner with common clientele, Example, I'm a financial service and the connection is a general tech worker. Can you give an example of what can be said, or is it still the same message? Bridge something in common, learn what they do, share what I do. I'm not sure if I were in their shoes, that I would have a reason to want to conversate. So again, I think that question was obviously answered by itself. If you can't find a connection point between you and the other person, you shouldn't be connecting with them in the first place. And if you're putting yourself in their shoes and you're even questioning if this person would even respond back to the message, then that search criteria or that type of connection may not be the best fit. Do you connect with others in the same field or competitors? So I don't believe in competition. There's plenty of people out there for us. I believe in collaboration and creation. I don't get involved with competition or comparison. So again, a lot of attorneys are connected to attorneys. A lot of accountants are connected to accountants. A lot of coaches are connected to coaches, because there may be a point of reference or a skill set that you have that they don't, and vice versa, where you could become referral partners. So it's never a bad idea to connect with people within your sphere and within your professional space, because again, having as many business allies as possible is purely beneficial for your business. So I always suggest doing that. What if your poll gets few or no votes because of a character limit? Do you repost your poll to add more context? In regards to polls, you never want to make it too verbose. So you want to make sure that when you are creating a poll on LinkedIn, it's very clear and easy for people to vote, basically asking a very simple question, which will get simple responses. If it's too complex and it's too in-depth and too high level, people are just going to scroll right past it. So you want to make sure that you ask very, very simple questions with simple responses. In the beginning, if you're not seeing a lot of traction with your polls, there's two reasons why. Number one, you're new to creating polls, so your network really hasn't seen you do them before. Or number two, they don't care about your topic. So it's a clear indication. So I did a poll the other day, the one I showed you guys yesterday. It's up to 530 votes now. So obviously I hit a really, really big hot button with my question. And there's other ones that I do that get 8 votes. And I'm like, I care about this topic, but they don't. So you kind of learn from those analytics. So those are typically the two reasons why people would not engage in a poll. So someone asked for the Hub membership. Will it be possible to have one-on-one sessions with you occasionally if needed advice, if what we're implementing isn't getting results, or will it end up not being very personal and more of a LinkedIn training resource for group forum? So with that, there is private trainings done in the private Facebook group where people can ask me questions. So there's a support email. And there's also a private Facebook group. So if anyone has any specific questions, they can obviously send an email to our support email or post it in the private Facebook group. But there's also going to be monthly sessions with me in the Facebook group where I'm going to be going over some new things from the new month's training, but also people can hop on there and ask any questions they have. So there is a little bit of a personal touch outside of what's being done in the general membership. And those were those questions. Gary asked, posting on my own. This will go into the feeds of all the people I'm connected to. Is that correct? So when you are posting on your personal page, if it's a public post, obviously everyone in your network will have the ability to see it, but it also has the ability to be seen by second, third plus connections. So it becomes very widely distributed. If you do something like connections only, the only people that can see your post are your connections that are only connected to you. So I always advise people to keep all of your posts from your personal profile public, you want it to get reach because then it'll bring new people into your sphere. So a lot of the second and third connections could then follow you and even connect with you. So it really is impactful to make sure that you make all of your personal posts from your personal account on LinkedIn public. Posting to groups. I belong to some groups with large memberships. Here is one, HR Exchange Network. There are 218,000 members. Will all of these members see posts in the group? I would say more likely not than they will. A lot of the groups have a ton of members and there's a lot of content that's being posted to them. What I have found in all the types of posts that I have made in groups that I'm in on LinkedIn, polls. So if you're in an HR group, do an HR related poll. That poll that I did that got over 500 votes was in a networking group that I'm in on LinkedIn. So if you're going to be engaging in groups, what I have found as far as content wise between posts, videos, sharing articles, and poll questions by far that you create in the group that you're in will always get the best response and most views. I have a few target organizations. Groups like the Society for Information Managers. I have a couple of colleagues. Can repost things to this group for which I am not a member. This seems okay to me, but I want to understand if there's any reason not to have these things reposted to a not professional group. Note, only things that benefit the group would be posted. Typically when things are shared, it's typically shared into a group where it would be relative and relatable to that specific group. So if people are going to be resharing information, I always recommend first and foremost having it reshared to a public profile or a specific company page attached to that person. If it is going to be shared into a group, it should be shared into a group that's actually going to resonate with the content. If it's just shared into some random group, it's just going to fall short. It's not going to make sense and no one's going to engage with it. What's an easy way to get counts of comments and likes for posts? I can go to each post and get the data, but that will take time. Yeah, that's the only way to see your analytics is to go to your analytics aspect, or if you go to your profile and you go to see all posts, it actually will break down all of the engagement from anything that you've posted in the last number of days. So you can scroll through that way, or you can get more deeper analytics by clicking on the analytics, checking out the number of impressions, comments, likes, all of those things. But probably the easiest and most streamlined way is to just view all your posts and just scroll through that to see what everything is going on with what you posted. What recommendations do you have to track progress on LinkedIn with some hard numbers? Again, this is something that's going to be different for each person. So as far as tracking numbers, easy metrics to track are the amount of connection requests that you send in a week, how many of those have led to connections accepted, how many of those people you messaged, how many of them responded, how many of them landed into a call, and how many of them converted into a sale. That's probably the easiest metric to track as far as numbers go. And you can use a CRM for that. You can use a Microsoft Excel. You can use a Google spreadsheet, whatever's best for you. But that would probably be the most streamlined way, tracking the progress from a sent connection request to a sale. That's how you would probably want to streamline it from there. Let's see. Quick question. Do you think becoming a creator on LinkedIn is worth it if you plan to post more content? That's from Derek. Absolutely. Creator mode, in my honest and humbled opinion, is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to LinkedIn. When you turn creator mode on, that gives you access to LinkedIn Live, LinkedIn newsletters, LinkedIn follow feature, and it also gives you access to the LinkedIn clickable link in your profile and LinkedIn audio events. So I highly recommend it. It also starts to limit the amount of spam that you get. So I absolutely always encourage people to turn creator mode on. Deb asks, what is the difference between the specific searches, 12 to 15 a month, and my searches 14 to 18 Monday and Friday? So The difference between that is you are allowed to search. And this is just, this number varies. LinkedIn has not come out with the specific numbers. But LinkedIn allows you to search freely 12 to 15 times per month for targeted connections. And that is why I recommend only searching once on Monday and once on Friday. And those are the 2 days that you're sending out the 14 to 18 connections through your searching. The other way that you're sending your connection, obviously, is the My Network area on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So every day, Monday through Friday, it's 14 to 18 connections, and you're just searching once on Monday, once on Friday, which equates to less than 12 to 15 searches per month, which means you'll never use them up, so you won't get dinged and have to only use the My Network area. Number 2, how are we nurturing people through notifications? Is this the birthdays, etc.? Yes. So to nurture connections on LinkedIn, it's done a number of ways. Number 1, it's done through the content that you create because they see you as a value-added person to their network. Number 2, it's the happy birthday, the work anniversary, the change of jobs, all those messages, but also the gratitude messages that you're going to be sending to people that subscribe to your newsletter, vote in your poll, and comment in your content. So those are all different ways that you can nurture your connections. Number 3, can you explain the 14 to 18 connections a day requests? Is it out? One of the ones accepted if you pick 5 messages as to jump on a call. Deb, I'm not sure if you're on here. I couldn't really understand the last question.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Deb.
This is great. Thanks so much. Yeah, my question is, okay, if you send out the 14 to 18 connection requests, and again, those are the ones that are in My Network, right? That you're not supposed to do searches on those. You just
yeah. So well, you're searching Monday and then sending 14 to 18 that way. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you're sending your 14 to 18 through the My Network. And then you're searching again on Friday and sending 14 to 18 that way.
Okay. And when you do the My Network, does it count as a search if you click on, oh, it doesn't. If you click on
only if you click on their profile.
Ooh, I've been doing that. Okay.
Yeah, so profile views don't count as searches, but you can only view a certain amount of profiles in a given time on LinkedIn. So you want to make sure that when you are using the My Network area, you're hitting the connect button based on the headline of the person only. You don't want to click into their profile.
Oh, on the headline only. Okay. And then from those 14 to 18 per day, do you only pick 5 to ask if they'd like to jump on a call with one of your messages, if they accept your request?
Well, I mean, you can choose to message whoever you want. I just always recommend messaging at most in the very beginning 5 targeted people per day that have accepted your connection request. So it's up to you of who you want to message. So you're going to kind of see all the new connections coming into your connections, and you just choose 5 per day to message.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Next question. Judy asks, can you explain following versus connecting? Should we do both? How many should you follow or strive to follow you? So follow versus connect. If someone has the follow button on, that means they've turned creator mode on. And I think I showed this to you guys the other day. If you want to connect with that person and they just really fit with what you're doing, you actually click on that person's profile. You're going to click on the button that says more, and it drops down a menu where you can then hit connect. But you only want to do a couple of those people per search, because as I mentioned with Deb, the more profiles that you view that you're not connected to, LinkedIn can ding you for that. And as far as people to follow you, that's completely up to them. When you turn creator mode on, people can still connect with you, but that as soon as they hit that connect button, you're automatically following you. Just like if you were sending a connection request to someone, you'd be automatically following them. So I always recommend skipping over the people that have the follow button. If you're doing that in searches, look for the people that just have connect only. And then Maurice asked, does liking, making comments on someone else's post, any value add? 100%. That's another way that you can nurture. A great way to nurture people. And I always suggest people, pick 2 people a day that are in your LinkedIn network that post something that's very relatable and relative to what you talk about or you're connected to. And you just, like it and then leave just a nice value added comment. Just don't say like great post with a little thumbs up emoji. Add value, add additional commentary to that person's post. That is always, always beneficial. Let's see. Next question. Let me just get this up. Astrid asked, when in network marketing, what's the best way to find a profession or industry the ideal client is in? My company has personal development. So anyone that has like a network marketing business as their model, I always recommend, if you are looking to connect with ideal clients, you should be connecting with people that have a similar professional background as you prior to what you're doing in network marketing. So for me, I did network marketing a number of years ago, and I came from the health and wellness industry. So I had some fitness clubs. I was a personal trainer and sports nutritionist. So when I was on LinkedIn initially, I was connecting with other gym owners, other personal trainers, and other nutritionists because I could have a relatable business story with them. So you're always looking to connect with the mirror image of you from a business standpoint, from the last thing that you did prior to the network marketing opportunity, if that is the business that you are building. Marcia asks, on day 1, you mentioned to take notes every day on connections, whether using Google Sheet, etc. What type of notes are we supposed to be keeping on our connections? Just those we message, or everyone we send connections to? What I meant by that was, those are the notes that you're taking when you're actually having the call with the person. These are the connection points. So as you're having conversations with people, either on a phone call or a Zoom, you always want to take little bullet point notes that you can relate to from their story, so you actually can tie it into your story. So that's what I meant about taking notes from people that you're talking to. Corrine says, having issues with the filters, getting questions, not screen. So Corrine, what did you mean by the filters, if you're on here?
When I typed in specific sections to look on filters, it gave me a whole series on the right-hand side of questionnaires. It wanted my name. It wanted
for what, LinkedIn?
Yes.
So when you went into the search bar?
Correct.
What did you put into search?
I don't remember, but it gave me that whole list of questions that I had to answer about the search. And I'm going, what is this? This didn't look anything like what you showed when you had your screen up to view.
Yeah. So typically when you're on LinkedIn, there's a search bar at the top. All you have to do is type in.
That's what I did. And it gave me this whole questionnaire on the far right-hand side to fill out. And then didn't come up with any searches. I'm going, what the heck?
I've never, the only thing I've ever seen is when you type in a keyword, it's going to give you basically different things. I mean, this is what a search would look like. So when I typed in coach, this is what came up.
Right.
And then all you have to do is just click on people, and then it filters by people. And then you always filter by second connections, because those are the people that you can connect with. And that's basically what the search ends up looking like.
Mine did not.
Yeah. So again, I would probably either log out or log back into LinkedIn, because that's the only thing that I see on mine.
Okay. All right. We'll give it a try. If not, I'll hop on a call with you and share screen.
Okay. Yeah. Or you can post a screenshot of what you see.
I can do that too.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Let's move through these questions. Okay. Okay, so Gail says, all I'm seeing for suggested connections are other financial professionals and other people in my business. While financial professionals and other companies might be potential recruits, they will not necessarily be potential clients. How do I get around this? So again, what you see in the My Network area is based on your current network. So prior to this process that I went over with you guys this week, your My Network area is a mirror image of the current connections that you have. That's why it's really important to get very clear on the searching that you do Mondays and Fridays going outside of that sphere, because again, that My Network area will start to change as you get accepted connections from the keywords that you're putting in on Mondays and Fridays. I can still send, but I can't clear any old ones. Does cleaning out invitations to your business page need to be done as well? If so, how do we do that? I've never actually done the cleaning out of invitations to a company or business page on LinkedIn, because you are given about 125 to 150 free invites a month on LinkedIn to invite people to your business page. LinkedIn is kind of giving you that. So it's something that you don't have to pull back. They're giving you those credits to invite. So there's nothing that you have to do to delete those. I've never deleted any of mine in the 10 years that I've been on there. Hemda says, of the 6 ways to not get blocked on LinkedIn, you said to make sure you don't have anyone logging in as you, acting as you from a different IP address. I have a VA who posts things for me. Is that a problem? Yes, that could potentially be a huge problem, because when LinkedIn sees, again, so with LinkedIn, you can either use a posting platform like the one that Nancy and I have called BYOB Social, but on LinkedIn, you can actually pre-schedule certain content. You can pre-schedule articles, you can pre-schedule posts right through LinkedIn. So you don't have to have anyone logging in to do that for you. You can actually do it yourself, because you have to be really, really careful, because if they see unusual login activity, they could suspend your account. So you do want to be very mindful of that. And you said when we connect with someone who we've been referred to, for instance, we might want to send a message when we send the connection request. However, when my husband has tried to do this on LinkedIn, it only allows him to send a message if he has premium. How do I get around this? So the only time you would ever get a message like that is if the person is a third plus connection. If you're not connected to them. So you can't send anyone a personal message if you're not connected to them. If you do have premium, which again, just so people know, you may get this carrot dangled that, should I upgrade to premium? Yes, you do get unlimited searches, and you get, I think, 10 in-mail messages per month, but it goes to the other inbox, just like on Facebook. So it doesn't even go to the primary inbox because you're not connected to them. So the only reason why you wouldn't be able to directly message someone is because you're not connected to them. So if you're looking to connect with someone that you were referred to, send the connection request, add the note that specifies the connection between you and the other person, and that will obviously raise the chance of that person accepting your connection. Other inboxes where some of those sponsored messages end up going. So you'll see 2 different inboxes. You'll see your inbox and then other. That's where a lot of the spam goes to. So anyone that's trying to send you a message that you're not connected to goes to another inbox that people don't even really check on LinkedIn anyway. Let's see. Just going through here. When I've tried to thank those who have commented or reacted, LinkedIn won't allow me to send a message to a third connection if I don't have premium. Are those some settings that need to be changed? No. So you're only allowed to message first connections. So someone that is a first connection of yours, that is someone that you can immediately send a message to. If you're looking to send a message to a second or third connection, again, with second connections, you can actually send them a connection request, add a note, thanking them for engaging in your content and hope you accept my connection. And I believe you can do the same thing with a third request, a third and plus connection, without having to send them an in-mail, which again, they're going to try to dangle that carrot to try to get you to upgrade to premium. Does it count against your searches if LinkedIn makes the recommendation without us inputting specific guidelines? The things that count towards your searches is anytime something is inputted in the search and you click search, even at the bottom, you'll see when you do a search, it'll say other related searches to that keyword. If you actually click on it, yes, that's going to repopulate as a new search. So that does count towards that. How do we analyze the analytics and what information is most important? So the best thing to do as far as analytics go is to look at your weekly insights. So when you go to your homepage on LinkedIn, there's a little bar at the top. It'll say, insights are up, insights are down. And you click on that. And I look at my impressions. So I usually look at things over either a 7-day period or a 28-day period to see which of my posts got the most impressions, which means it was showed most to in the LinkedIn feed, but also engagement, which one was most impactful as far as comments and likes, what did people engage most with? So those are some of the metrics that you do want to look at and analyze. How can we find the keyword they use to locate us? So as far as keywords go, when you go onto your LinkedIn profile, when you're on your homepage, there's an area that you can actually, it's under your analytics and tools. So just like anything else that you're doing, if you click on the analytics and tools, it basically will say post impressions, followers, profile views, and search appearances. If you were to click on the search appearances area, LinkedIn would actually show you some of the keywords that populated within your profile. So basically LinkedIn is going to say, hey, this keyword was populated in the search and your profile appeared in that. So if it correlates to you and your business, you can then use those keywords a little bit more throughout your profile, whether it's your headline, your about section, the description of your experiences. So you can kind of flutter those keywords anywhere you want based on that information that they've given you. Can you explain about following versus connecting? Oh, I went over that one already. And actually that is all of the questions. So we have about, and I know there were some in the chat. Let me just go back through really quickly because we have about 8 minutes left. Okay. How do we message and no, that was a comment. Does a search for an individual person count for the same as a search for a marketing director? Yes. Anytime that you punch something into the search, whether it's an individual name or a professional title or industry, that does count as a search. I created a couple of LinkedIn business pages. One for business coaches, one for realtors. Should I post from my LinkedIn business page and then share it to my personal? You want to reverse that. You want to share it from your personal and then share it back to your company pages. Replying back or making a comment that someone does, but you are not connected with that person, does that count towards a connection or a search? No. If you're replying back to someone's comment, that the only way it's going to count as a search is if you actually search for that person. If you're just, engaging in their content, that's not going to count towards it. Can you repeat the process of the 3 a day for 12 to 15 per month? So searching, again, you're searching Monday and Friday. One day you're going to classify as a power partner search day. The other day is going to be your ideal client search. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you're using the My Network area. Mindy said, do I need a paid version in order to see who is searching for me? If not, how do I find this out? Yeah, to see who is specifically looking at your profile, you would need to pay for premium. And I'm just being honest, I feel that's kind of creepy when people just kind of look at your profile and then take nothing else further. They just look at it. They don't connect with you. They don't message you. They don't follow you. They're just kind of like scoping you out. So I don't really care about the people that are just viewing my profile. I care about the people that are taking that next step to following me, connecting with me, sending me a message, or engaging in my content. Do I need a paid Zoom license to schedule a call? No. With the free Zoom account, I believe you have up to 45 minutes for the free version. So you can do a Zoom call up to 45 minutes before it kind of kicks you off and ends the meeting. So you can use Zoom for free. Can you edit your post to reorder photos? So Judy, what does that mean? Edit your post to reorder photos. If
Good
you're
morning.
on.
Yeah,
Hey.
I just did a post and I was at an event, so there are pictures of the venue and pictures of attendees, and a lot of them are me with people. So like when I did it, they show up, the ones that show up together are mostly of me, and it looks like I'm crazy narcissist. So I wanted to reorder them instead of just like doing the post over, because people started to like, comment or make impressions.
Yeah, so I think that is in related to the order in which you select the photos that you're actually posting.
Right. And I didn't realize that they were like me, and then like other things.
Yes,
So,
I would say the only way to do that, since it's already been published, you would probably have to delete the post and then
Yeah.
repost it in the order of which what you want to appear.
okay. That's what I was trying to see if there was a way to mitigate that. But thank you. Perfect. I appreciate the answer.
Absolutely. How do you maximize on a post to that got many impressions? So the way you maximize that is nurturing those people that engage. So the people that liked and commented, sending them some personal messages, thanking them, but also recognizing that if you had a post that actually got great impressions, that is something that LinkedIn wants you to post more of. So do more content like that. What was the tool that you said you called B to schedule in advance? Deb, that we have our own, it's called BYOB Social. I can send you, I'll send you a personal message with that information. So Nancy and I have our own posting platform that people can use to schedule out their content, up to 7 different platforms. So Facebook groups, Facebook business page, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, that kind of stuff. Why do you suggest not sending a note with a connection request? Because that's where a lot of the spam is actually happening right now. If you've noticed that your people are a lot of connection requests are going out, you're literally seeing spam note, spam note, spam note, and they're all these just disingenuine, inauthentic, would love to add you to my network. And it's just, it's not real. I just like hitting connect. When I do suggest adding a note is if you know the person personally, maybe you can make a personal reference to how you came about. Maybe you listened to their podcast, you read and bought their book, you met them at a networking event. Obviously asking, putting that type of information in there, or even saying, hey, I watch a lot of your LinkedIn lives. They're great. Would love to connect. So make a personal message to the note, that's more appropriate. Otherwise you just want to click connect. How do you know if you got blocked on LinkedIn? You'll know because you won't be able to do anything. You'll try to log on and it'll give you an error message that it'll say profile not available at this time, which means they've restricted your account, which you would then have to send an email to their help center to find out why your account got restricted, which then again, they have to go through the normal protocol to see what, if anything was done wrong, to unlock or unblock your account. Do search counts get cleared at the end of the month? Yes. So new searches are given to all the free accounts on LinkedIn as of the 1st of each month at 12 p.m. Pacific time. I have the paid version, but will love to downgrade. I have a question about saving my searches. Yeah, so to save searches, obviously that is something that's offered through some of the paid versions, but something that I went over earlier as far as having your searches saved is leaving that window of that search open. Don't close the window out. So if you had a very fruitful search, leave it open in a separate window. You can always go back to it. But again, I always tell people, if you're not squeezing the juice of the free version first, Don't upgrade until you absolutely have to, or if it's even necessary. How many videos can we post per day? I only suggest posting 1 video, max 2 videos per week. You never want to post more than 1 time per day across LinkedIn. So again, the way that LinkedIn works traction wise, it gets a lot more traction than a normal Facebook or Instagram, because it's a rolling newsfeed on those platforms that your stuff gets drowned out. So you want to make sure that you're posting just once a day, but you do want to vary your content, much like how I suggested, whether you're doing video content, you're doing posts, polls, articles. So you never want to do just videos, especially not doing multiple videos a day. How many photos can you do and how many articles can you do? So photos, again, I always suggest doing 1 different type of piece of content a week. So, a photo post, 1 article or newsletter, 1 poll, 1 video. So those are like the 4 main types of content. So I always suggest to do 1 of each. Should we use Calendly link to help schedule a call in our meeting? Absolutely. So if someone agrees to a call, you can basically give them your Calendly link, they can book it, or you can obviously get their email address and schedule the call. But having a Calendly link present and available is absolutely very, very important. Did you say, yeah, anyone that's interested in BYOB social, I'll post that in the private group on Facebook for people if they wanted to check that out. How do I identify spam or minimize the amount of spam? We can identify spam left and right. So again, it's one of those things where if you can see a connection request coming in that has a note attached to it where they're trying to sell and pitch you in the note, you shouldn't accept that. Also with the first message that someone sends to you, if it's very impersonal, and they're just trying to sell and pitch you on some sort of product or service or good or something that they have, one of the best ways to mitigate the spam is actually turning creator mode on, because it turns your connect button off and turns your follow button on. So it grows more of a following. And again, it's less spam connections that you're going to get. Let's see. Awesome. And then again, just one last time, again, obviously we're going to be popping off in a minute. I do have 4 last winners to obviously share with you guys. So again, the replays of this come down on Sunday at 9 p.m. as well as the doors to the LinkedIn Growth Hub. So again, if you're looking for some more continuing education, much like this, you're looking to have more of your questions answered. If you're looking for more information about how to use LinkedIn to grow your business, these are the types of trainings that you can expect each and every month in the LinkedIn Growth Hub. And again, like I mentioned, it's $49 a month, canceled anytime. People can choose to pay in full for the entire year and get a 20% discount. There is an affiliate link, so you can get a 20% commission that anyone signs up through your link. So again, if you want to continue to learn, because LinkedIn does change all the time, this is a great opportunity. This is a great opportunity for you to continue to learn from me. Now, and the LinkedIn Accelerator is a separate thing. The LinkedIn Growth Hub is a separate membership and a separate program. That is my membership. So this goes over a full gamut of things, resources, tools, templates, all of those things. So again, if you're really looking to take your LinkedIn game to the next level, have my support, have a private community to do so, have a new fresh training delivered to you every single month, but plus be able to go back and check out any old trainings that you need in specific areas. But also, it is a collaboration. I'm always open to recommendations from the members of the community. If there's a specific training they want me to do on a given month, it just has to be mentioned and I shoot a training for it and show you exactly what needs to be done. So again, I'm going to leave the link in there. You have about 3 days left to sign up. Would love to see you guys a part of this and continue to learn from me, because the education does not have to stop now. Again, you just have to think about, if you're not happy with the results that you're getting currently with LinkedIn, if you're not happy with the responses that you're getting, you're not happy with the amount of messages that are getting responded to, you're not happy with the type of content that you're creating, or the lack of sales or whatever in your business, that's exactly what I've been teaching for the last 10 years. And that's exactly why this membership was put together. So again, you guys have the link. Would love to see you a part of it. And remember, the replays will be available until Sunday at 9 p.m. EDT as well. So you can join per month, month to month. And then if anybody does want to upgrade to the year, yes, you can prorate after that. So people can start with the month to month. And then all the winners will be emailed at the end of the week with the prizes that they're going to be having. So the last 4 winners, the 2 homework winners, John Tran and Dee Bowden, and the 2 social media, Maurice and who was the other one? Cicely Nestor is the other winner. So if your name was called, and also Richard said he's in, awesome. Again, I really want to see everyone maximize their efforts on LinkedIn. It doesn't have to be a mystery. Even if you're struggling with tech, even if you're struggling with the simplicities of LinkedIn, that's also why this was created. I take the confusion out of it. I take the struggle out of it. I take the overwhelm out of it. And again, just know that this is something that's going to move the needle of your business forward. So again, I just want to thank each and every one of you for spending these last 4 days with me. It really fills me that I get to do this each and every year, coming to you guys with new strategies, techniques, and tactics of what you can do. LinkedIn is still, in my opinion, the best platform out there for you to build your personal brands and your businesses. And again, if you're looking to get to that next level and you would like my help and guidance to do so, again, I invite you to join the LinkedIn Growth Hub membership. So I can continue to support you. So love and gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you again so much for being a part of this workshop. Have a great rest